Coming up, Trinity University President Danny Anderson announces his retirement.
And we let you know about shelter animals getting a ticket to a second chance, haunted hotels, and your update on sports.
All this and more right now on Newswave. Good afternoon and welcome to our first live news wave of the semester. Today is Friday, October 22nd. I'm James Krosnow.
And I'm Caleb Reed.
Our associate producer, Danny Wynn, talked with students all over campus about how the midterm season and any advice they have for in-person exams.
Midterm season is finally here, and to many students, it can be a pretty stressful time. From juggling exams and papers to just everyday tasks to deal with, it is important to be prepared for anything and everything. I asked some Tigers around campus to see if they had any tips and tricks for students during this time.
I would say during midterm season, you should definitely take time for yourself, take care of yourself during midterms, because a lot of people forget to do that. So study, but also take care of yourself.
For midterms, I would honestly just try my best to form study groups and start studying as early as possible. Personally, I like separating the content and breaking it down based on whatever you learned, and just study little by little over a certain period of time so you're not cramming in the end. And yeah.
Definitely for midterms, I would say don't procrastinate. It's important to take a brain break and just walk around, get some coffee. And make sure to email your professors if you have any question, and I would say also attend office hours.
Remember, it is important to study efficiently and to also take care of yourself during the stressful season. From all of us at Newswave and Tiger TV, good luck on your midterms and stay positive. This is Danny Wynn, Newswave 14, reporting.
Caleb, how did your midterms go?
They were pretty good. Made a pretty high A on my comm midterm, and FYE was good, math was good. Overall, I was pretty happy with it.
That's good. I felt like midterms took about 3 months this year, but finally we're out of it. So looking forward to not having to study for any tests for the foreseeable future.
Yeah, it's definitely not like high school to where it's all just in a single day or in a couple of days. It's really spread out.
Mm-hmm.
Definitely, yeah.
Coming up, Trinity President Danny Anderson announces his retirement.
And we will have an update on the new road on the upper campus.
And why a nonprofit organization is asking the city to light up the town with purple, all after the break.
This is our home. This is our studio, filled with empty seats and cameras waiting to press record again. With remote classes and the COVID-19 pandemic, it's hard not to feel like we've lost a community on campus. When we're not on campus, it's hard to feel home. But home isn't just a place, it's a feeling. And here at Tiger TV, we're bringing that feeling to you. Because while our studio is waiting for us, we haven't stopped bringing you the shows you need. Get involved with some of our diverse programming like Newswave, Studio 21, and The Not So Late Show. Tune in to our YouTube and Vimeo channels if you miss some of the quality campus television programming we make. Just because we're remote, that doesn't mean we're not still together. Because here, home is more than just a place. Home is Tiger TV.
Welcome back to Newswave. Trinity University President Danny Anderson has announced his retirement for the end of the academic year in May 2022. President Anderson stated in an email to the campus, "While I am enthusiastic about Trinity's bright future, the pandemic has given me an opportunity to re-examine my personal priorities. Since my first faculty appointment in 1985, it has been an honor to teach, research, and serve my colleagues in leadership roles throughout the last 2 decades. Danny Anderson has served as the university's 19th president since June 2015.
With cooler weather starting to roll into the city this week, our furry friends at the San Antonio Animal Care Services need some help staying warm. Winter is coming and the shelter needs your help. They are asking for donations of blankets and towels to keep their animals safe and cozy. Keep in mind the shelter is only asking for these items and cannot take pillows, comforters, and sheets. Donations can be dropped off at 4710 State Highway 151, or you can go online to their Amazon wish list and buy them from there.
In some more recent news, yesterday cinematographer Halyna Hutchins was tragically killed by a misfire from a prop gun on the set of Rust, a movie starring Alec Baldwin filmed in New Mexico. Baldwin was working with a false firearm that jammed and accidentally fired a projectile blank, killing Hutchins and injuring director Joel Souza. Quote, "There are no words to convey my shock and sadness regarding the tragic accident that took the life of Halyna Hutchins, a wife, mother, and deeply admired colleague of ours. I'm fully cooperating with the police investigation," Baldwin wrote on Twitter. "My heart is broken for her husband, their son, and all who knew and loved Halyna. We here at Newswave send our thoughts and prayers to the families of those affected."
Earlier this month, construction on a new road off of Hildebrand Avenue to Upper Campus was completed. Trinity Parkway was created to help students cross the street from City Vista apartments safely. James Baker, Senior Director of Facility Services, said that, quote, "Most of our students living at City Vista did not go to Devine to cross. They just kind of ran across Hildebrand right there in front of City Vista, so it immediately elevated that to a safety risk." Trinity also hopes to use the new road to expand Upper Campus by adding a new admissions center and alumni relations office, which is all part of their campus master plan. James has an in-depth look at the new redistricting process Texas has been undergoing. Take a look.
The 2020 census highlighted a decade of strong population development in the state of Texas, which grew by 4 million people, marking a 16% population increase. According to the census, this increase was largely due to an influx in minority residents, who accounted for more than 95% of Texas's exceptional growth since 2010. This expansion helped Texas experience the most population growth out of any state over the last decade, propelling its general population to just under 30 million. Beyond a headcount, the census initiates the process of redrawing congressional districts, a duty charged to the Texas state legislature, which is currently dominated by the Republican Party. In a report from TexasTribune.com, the state of Texas gained 2 congressional seats as a result of the 2020 census. However, the apportioning of these districts does not reflect the growth of Texas's minority population and rather reflects a political maneuver by state legislators to protect incumbent politicians. State legislators proposed the addition of 2 new districts in Austin and Houston, which would protect the Republican Party's electoral grip in Texas and restrain the growth of minority populations' electoral power. In response to the new proposed district map, State Representative Rafael Anchia has called it a disservice to the people of Texas, saying, quote, "I'd love to be able to say it is a stain on the legacy of voting rights, but that seems to be the playbook decade after decade after decade in this state."
Coming up, a San Antonio haunted hotel that you might not know about is getting noticed.
And we'll take a look at some shelter dogs who are soaring high after getting a second chance.
Don't go anywhere. We'll be right back.
This is our home. This is our studio, filled with empty seats and cameras waiting to press record again. With remote classes and the COVID-19 pandemic, it's hard not to feel like we've lost a community on campus. When we're not on campus, it's hard to feel home. But home isn't just a place, it's a feeling. And here at Tiger TV, we're bringing that feeling to you. Because while our studio is waiting for us, we haven't stopped bringing you the shows you need. Get involved with some of our diverse programming like Newswave, Studio 21, and The Not So Late Show. Tune in to our YouTube and Vimeo channels if you miss some of the quality campus television programming we make. Just because we're remote, that doesn't mean we're not still together. Because here, home is more than just a place. Home is Tiger TV.
Our first story back from the break is perfect for the Halloween season. A haunted hotel. A local downtown hotel was recently named one of the most haunted in the United States. According to Historic Hotels of America, the Emily Morgan Hotel in downtown San Antonio is a former hospital and doctor's office building, which explains its mysterious history. According to the HHA, the most haunted floors are the 7th, 9th, and 14th floors of the building. People have reported seeing doors close and open on their own, lights flickering and smelling the sterilization.
Our Tiger TV package director, Madison Moyan, is studying abroad in Stockholm this semester, but that won't stop her from giving you the global news you need. Maddie is our international correspondent, comparing the experiences of Sweden with COVID-19 lockdowns to San Antonio.
I'm here in downtown Stockholm, Sweden, where as of Wednesday, September 29th, all COVID restrictions in the country have been lifted. Sweden was the third Scandinavian country to lift its COVID restrictions, with Denmark being the first, lifting its restrictions on September 10th, and Norway being the second, lifting it on September 23rd. According to data from the Public Health Agency of Sweden, 84% of Swedes have received one dose of the vaccine, and 78% have been fully vaccinated as of October 5th. For reference, as of October 5th, 78% of Americans had received one vaccine, while 67% have been fully vaccinated, according to data from the CDC. While Sweden now has some of the highest vaccination rates in Europe, its response to the COVID-19 pandemic has not always been critically acclaimed. From March to December of 2020, Sweden took an unexpected hands-off approach to the pandemic, striving for herd immunity and enacting very few masking and social distancing regulations. Life in Sweden didn't look all that different from pre-COVID life in the United States. Bars were open, schools were in person, and masks weren't common except on international flights. Sweden's goal of this approach was for vulnerable people to choose to stay home, while healthy people got mild COVID-19 cases that would contribute to herd immunity until a vaccine could become available. According to Business Insider, Anders Tegnell, the chief architect of Sweden's coronavirus strategy, was reluctant to close businesses out of fear of a lockdown's impact on the economy. Tegnell compared lockdowns to, quote, using a hammer to kill a fly. However, this hands-off approach was wildly unsuccessful at preventing deaths of the coronavirus. According to reports of the Sweden Corona Commission, late measures taken in nursing homes led to nursing home employees fending for themselves to protect the elderly, resulting in high mortalities from COVID-19 in Sweden's elderly population. In fact, according to ABC News, Sweden's COVID-specific mortality rate in the spring of 2021 was over 3 times that of its early lockdown Nordic neighbors, Denmark, Norway, and Finland combined. Sweden's top doctors and scientists, and even its king, Carl Gustaf XVI, who normally keeps out of political discussions, spoke out against Sweden's hands-off approach. The pressure from doctors and scientists, combined with Sweden's climbing mortality rate, led to slightly stricter restrictions in December of 2020, including caps on restaurants and events, a recommendation for masks in public transport, and online school for high school until January 2021, according to the local SE. From January 2021 to the present, there has been a loosening of restrictions with the increasing vaccination rates. And with full vaccination now close to 80%, the restrictions have been repealed again. With vaccination rates as high as they are, it may seem that the impact of the coronavirus is lessening in Sweden. However, Sweden's unorthodox response to the COVID-19 pandemic will remain in the memory of its citizens and of the global community for a long time to come.
The Collaborative Commission for Domestic Violence has requested that people across San Antonio light and decorate their buildings, houses, and porches purple in order to show support for survivors of domestic violence. Judge Monique Diaz, who spoke on behalf of Purple Porch San Antonio, said that the aim of the campaign is to break the stigma around talking about domestic violence and connecting survivors to resources within the San Antonio community. Those who have decorated their porches can post a picture on social media with the hashtag #PurplePorchSA. On Sunday, October 17th, some shelter pets got a plane ticket to a better future. 41 dogs were saved from euthanasia in San Marcos. Local organization Austin Pets Alive made the plans to bring the dogs to safety and away from the overcrowded Texas shelters. The dogs were treated to medical examinations before taking off to safer land. Dog is My Co-Pilot, a nonprofit aiming to help transport shelter animals, flew the furry friends from San Marcos to Colorado, Utah, and Ohio. As of today, all of the dogs have reached their new shelters and are awaiting a new happy home to spend the rest of their lives with.
After the break, Caleb will be back with our weekly sports update, and our executive producer, Devin Karp, is here with our new student expert segment.
This is our home. This is our studio, filled with empty seats and cameras waiting to press record again. With remote classes and the COVID-19 pandemic, it's hard not to feel like we've lost a community on campus. When we're not on campus, it's hard to feel home. But home isn't just a place, it's a feeling. And here at Tiger TV, we're bringing that feeling to you. Because while our studio is waiting for us, we haven't stopped bringing you the shows you need. Get involved with some of our diverse programming like Newswave, Studio 21, and The Not So Late Show. Tune in to our YouTube and Vimeo channels if you miss some of the quality campus television programming we make. Just because we're remote, that doesn't mean we're not still together. Because here, home is more than just a place. Home is Tiger TV.
Welcome back to Newswave. I am Caleb Reed, and here is your sports news for the week. First off, Trinity remains undefeated in multiple sports. The Tigers are riding a hot streak so far this season, as both football and men's soccer remain undefeated heading into this weekend. Tiger football won last week in a blowout 46-0, while the men's soccer team won 6-0 last Sunday. Also, after winning last week, the women's soccer team will be facing Shriner, with men's soccer playing St. Thomas. Both those games will be at Trinity today, starting at around 6 o'clock p.m. Women's volleyball plays in a doubleheader this weekend on both Saturday and Sunday, with 4 games in Kerrville for the SCAC Divisional. Football, which is now ranked 20th in NCAA Division III, plays on the road in Sewanee, Tennessee, tomorrow afternoon. Also moving over to pro sports now, the San Antonio Spurs tipped off their season with a 123-97 win against the Orlando Magic on Wednesday. San Antonio continues action tonight in Denver on the road, while a home game tomorrow against the reigning champion Milwaukee Bucks is on the radar.
Ever since the winter storm of February 2021, CPS Energy has come under fire for their failures of keeping power running for San Antonians. Now, after months of controversy, President and CEO Paula Gold-Williams has announced her resignation from the company. The KSAT 12 Defenders investigative team found that Gold-Williams had several internal complaints concerning her ability to lead the utility through problems and repeatedly mistreating members of the senior leadership team. Her resignation comes less than a week after the former chief operating officer, Fred Bonewell, left the utility company for ethnically insensitive comments made in 2018. Gold-Williams says she is, quote, thankful to CPS Energy's 3,000 exceptional energy experts who have never wavered in serving our customers and our greater San Antonio community. Our executive producer, Devin Karp, is back with a new segment. He will be interviewing students from different majors across campus to hear more from their work. All you, Devin.
Thanks, guys. Hello, everybody, and welcome to a special new segment we are running this year on Newswave called Student Experts. We're bringing in regular students just like you from all different types of majors across campus to hear a little bit about their experiences. I'm Devin Karp, and today we have with us Charlie Shepard.
Hi, Devin. Nice to be here.
Thank you for being here, Charlie. Charlie is a senior geology major and has had a really great time in the department so far. Is that right?
Yes, it's been awesome so far. I'm excited to wrap up my
Hang on, I wonder if they can see us
Yeah,
through the
what have you
camera,
been able
because
to
then we
do so
can
far
hear
with a
what
lot
do
of
we
the
talk
geology
about on the
stuff?
back of one of
So with COVID and everything, obviously we haven't been able to do much of the field work that we normally would do, but thankfully this last summer I was able to perform some research and through another school attend a field camp out in South Dakota.
Wow, how was that out there in South Dakota?
Oh, it was awesome. I was able to do a paleontology dig, so we were looking for fossils from the Cretaceous age, roughly 100 million years ago. So it was, and the weather was nice as well. Hit the 60s a couple days, so
Wow,
it was a good time.
that's great. So, for anybody who might not know, what is it like going out to these excavation sites and doing these digs? Like, are you there a whole day? You got the sweat pouring down your back, kind of like Jurassic Park vibes?
Yeah, good question. Not always Jurassic Park vibes. There's plenty of days where you don't really find anything too exciting, but that's what it's all about. That's what makes the good find that much better. So we're out there. We'd usually get out there about 8 o'clock in the morning, stay out there till 3 or 4. So a good 6-7 hour day usually.
Wow.
Just depending.
Yeah. What are some of the cool stuff that you guys found out there?
So we actually found a fish skull with some nice teeth still intact, and we weren't able to identify it out in the field, but they're sending it back to the lab this semester to work on. And we also found a few vertebrate fossils, which is a backbone from a mosasaur, large marine reptile as well.
Wow. That's awesome, dude. And I hear you're getting to go to Portland next week for a conference to present this, right?
Yes, I'll be going to present some of the research I worked on over the summer, dealing with geochemistry and sedimentology in dinosaur tracks from a site. Actually, this site was out near Bandera, Texas. So we'll be going to Portland. I'm going, and there's a few other students from Trinity going as well that are having the chance to talk about their own research experiences at the National GSA Convention in Portland.
Wow. What's it been like being able to do research on campus?
Oh, it's been a very good experience. I'm still undecided on what I'm going to be doing after school, but research is definitely an interest of mine. The teacher mentors here, professor mentors, are great. They really help guide along the research while allowing you to kind of do the thinking and work yourself. But if you ever get stuck or anything like that, they're there to help you every step along the way.
That's great. So I'm hearing that you like being a geology major on campus.
Oh, I love it. The professors are great. They'll help you with anything as long as you put in the work and show you care about the class or anything you're interested in, really.
Wow, that's great. So could you tell us a little bit more about like the rock gardens on campus? Because I didn't know about that until I heard from someone in geology.
Yes, for sure. So most of those rocks are donated either mostly from friends of professors at this school, so other geologists around the country, and they have the locations of each rock out there and the age of the rock along with the type of rock. So there's all types of rocks out there, from sedimentary, metamorphic, and igneous. So we got all of them.
All right, so I'm sure you probably get this a lot. Do you have a favorite rock or type of rock that you can explain a little bit about?
Yes, my favorite is a gabbro, and if you're a fan of cookies and cream, that's about what it looks like. It's just solid white with quartz mineral and some black biotite sprinkled on there. So.
Wow, that's awesome. Have you ever been able to work with that at Trinity before?
Yes, that's where we found it. And I believe it was Earth Materials Lab. They introduced it to us, and we were able to look at that and talk about the composition.
Awesome, great. Well, thank you, Charlie, so much for being here. I know you've probably heard this joke a lot, but it really rocked having you on.
Yes.
I'm so sorry. Well, thank you, Charlie, so much for being here. Is there anything else you'd like to say? Tell everybody, Tiger TV listening, what it's like being at Trinity with geology.
Yes, for anybody that hasn't decided on their major, go ahead and give geoscience a chance because I think you'll really enjoy it. Thanks again for having me, Devin.
Hey, thanks for coming, Charlie. Back to you guys in the studio.
Well, firstly, I'd like to return by formally apologizing for the absolutely atrocious pun that our executive producer, Devin Karp, just released on live TV.
Guilty as charged. I do love my puns. I think they're a little bit, they could be worse, but I'm happy with them. But thank you guys for listening in. So my name's Devin. I've been the anchor before, and now I'm the executive producer. And one of the things that I really wanted to highlight for this semester of Newswave was the amazing students that we have coming in and working for us with Tiger TV. We're not all just comm majors. I know it may seem like that, but we get a lot of great people to come in, and I really wanted to hear some of their stories. So as you guys just saw, I was talking to my friend Charlie. Charlie actually has worked on Newswave in the past as a camera person, and Charlie was doing a really great job of talking about how cool geology is. I mean, I don't know, have you guys ever studied at the rock garden or have seen the rock garden on campus?
No, I don't believe that I have. I've only been here just a couple months though, so.
All right.
I got plenty of time.
From a senior to a freshman, I'll give you all the pass. But the rock garden's actually a really cool place. There's a lot of different minerals, bigger rocks, smaller rocks. I actually took a geoscience class earlier in the year and was able to go out there and see what some of that was like during the spring. And it's a really great place to study. Like Charlie was saying, you know, there's some really great cool minerals that are out there. I will say one thing I got a little bit confused on. There's rocks layering the ground area. You know, like when you don't want grass on your lawn, but you have rocks everywhere. So there's rocks that are for show, but there's also some of the bigger rocks. So I got a little bit confused, but besides that, it was a really great time talking to Charlie. He's really smart, really cool to see how multi-skilled people can be in Newswave. So I gotta ask, I think I've got your guys' majors, but did this convince y'all to be a geoscience major at all? Are you thinking about it?
I particularly have not landed on a major, and so this has been a big help in deciding I may take a look into some geoscience classes. How about you, Caleb?
I'm thinking more of the communications route, but if I need some credit hours for my interdisciplinary stuff, I might look into it for sure.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Well, hey, that sounds great. It's a great department to be at. So thanks, everybody, for listening to our Student Expert segment. Throughout the semester, I'm going to be talking to some other students from different departments across campus, getting to hear some of their stories from every different major I can find. Maybe even some professors as well, so we can get some experts along with the student experts. But thank you, everybody, for listening into this new package. If you have any ideas or questions about some of the people I'm going to talk to, or if you yourself want to get interviewed by me, you can reach out to me at dcarp@trinity.edu, which is my Trinity email, and I will be happy to get with you on learning what you've got to say. Back to you guys at the anchor desk. Thanks, everyone.
Thanks for joining us, Devin. I've been James Crosnow.
And I've been Caleb Reed.
And I'd like to thank y'all for tuning in to Newswave this week. See y'all next Friday.